you really need to be careful with this game. I'm issuing a warning. You need to be very, very careful with this game because it's a well-crafted, well-designed addiction formula that when you combine it with real money, it becomes incredibly dangerous. So now I want to talk about Diablo Immortal and the ever controversial monetization policies. You probably have watched videos from Bellular, from Asmongold, from Greg. Was it Greg 2G? That's the video I have up here. What's his name? Yeah, Greg 2G. You might have seen it from him about how the game is pay to win. Shocker, right? When Diablo Immortal was first announced at BlizzCon a few years ago, one of the things people moaned at was that it was a mobile game, and mobile games these days, they come with the caveat that it's going to be some kind of a pay advantage. They've earned that reputation, rightfully so, because there's always a pay advantage in just about every mobile game out there. I think one of the best models that me and my wife both agreed on was a game called Battle Breakers, which came out from Epic Games, and it literally had 0 walls. It was amazing. You could play all day, every day. You could just farm your heart's content, and your money basically did absolutely nothing. The only thing you got was a battle pass. And my wife and I gladly paid for that battle pass. And it was one of the best mobile experiences I've had in many, many years. But generally, mobile games have a reputation for being pay to win. And, you know, I didn't expect anything different from Diablo Immortal, because many game companies out there have tried to copy this game. Like, even using different franchises, there have been all types of action RPGs, right, from different IPs that have gone mobile, and they have all types of monetization policies around it. But they've all tried to copy that Diablo formula, because Diablo has one of the most addictive gaming formulas out there. Out of every video game ever made, Diablo has one of the most addictive, even more addictive than slots, poker, than Chutes and Ladders. I don't care. It's like Diablo is king because it offers these constant hits of dopamine in the form of loot drops. And when it first came out, it almost ruined a lot of our lives. Like, I was in school when I was playing Diablo 2, and I almost flunked out because that's all I wanted to do. Right. And there was no money involved, thankfully. You know, there was no money involved. You just bought the game and you played. But I was farming all day, all night. Like, forget homework. I'm just going to farm. So Diablo's got a reputation for being super duper addictive, like insanely addictive. Right. And that's why what made it so popular. That's why people are so in love with games like Path of Exile. They love these games because they offer these just constant dopamine shots of loot drops. You know, you farm, you sit there and look like a zombie for 48 hours, and then you get the drop, and then you've got enough energy to do it for another 3 years because of that one dopamine shot. It's so addictive, so addictive. So Diablo Immortal came out on June 2nd, which was yesterday, I believe, right? And a lot of videos have come out since talking about how it's pay to win, and it's mostly revolving around the legendary gem system and a system called Resonance. And essentially, I'm gonna try to not focus on those details. I'm gonna link a bunch of good videos, mainly the one by Greg 2G here. This is probably one of the better ones because he goes into detail as to what people have speculated and calculated regarding that. So I want you to watch this video. I'm not going to watch it on stream. I'm not going to, but I want to link you to it. I've watched it a couple times and I still haven't retained all of it, but I kind of gleaned some points from it that I want to talk about now. A lot of what's in here points to the high end of the spectrum. So a lot of us play these games for a few hours a day. We get a few good drops and then we put the game down. That's a lot of us, right? But not all of us. There's a subset of players, and a lot of them in the ARPG genre, that want to min-max. They want the best of the best gear. So that's their driving factor for playing over and over and over and over and over again. They just want to get the best chess piece. They want to get the best gems for it. They want to get everything to min-max their build. That's how they have fun. And that is what drives the game for them. Diablo Immortal, and again, like I said, it goes back to what I said about, just how addictive this can be. Diablo Immortal has put monetization around farming. They put monetization around the farming. The most addictive part of the gameplay loop of Diablo, they have monetized. Now, how did they do that? Well, they have these gems, these legendary gems that you can farm. And you have to have a certain item that is a paid only item to get a guaranteed legendary drop, right? Now you can earn this item. Of course, people are like, oh yeah, but can't you earn it for free? Yeah, but it's very minuscule at the moment. And we're going to circle back to that too. It's very minuscule at the moment. You get a couple of these per month, apparently is what they say. So this monetized item will guarantee you to get a chance of getting a good legendary, because you'll get a guaranteed legendary drop, but it's not guaranteed to be good because they range between 1 and 5 stars. And apparently it's been data mined. I keep putting apparently in front of this because it's not exactly, I don't think it's ironclad. I think it's a lot of speculation. And even though the files say one thing, it could be doing another. Who knows? But it's a very small amount. It's like 0.05% rates for the best gem behind a paid item. And the thing is that to get this paid item, it's a very small fee. It's like a couple of bucks. So you buy this paid item, you go into the Greater Rift, and you're guaranteed to get a legendary drop. Now, if you've ever played Diablo, like I have, if you've ever played Diablo, you know that a majority of your time in the game is rerunning things and trying to get that drop. You're either doing boss runs, if you're talking about Diablo 2, if you're in Path of Exile, you're doing maps, you're doing whatever, you're repeating things. So they have monetized that repetition. Every time you go in, you got to pay if you want a guaranteed drop. Free-to-play players can't get it. Like I said, they're gonna give you a couple per month just to entice you to buy it, but that's it. And again, this points towards the upper echelon. This is for people who want the best of the best gear, because you can play just fine. You'll be able to clear just fine, I believe so, without doing this. But a vast majority of Diablo players, the ones that are really addicted, want the best gear. So they're going to be naturally gravitating towards that if you get addicted to the game. That's why it's my opinion that Diablo Immortal is dangerous, because what it has done is that it has monetized one of the most addictive gaming formulas out there. And you really need to be careful with this game. I'm issuing a warning. You need to be very, very careful with this game, because it's a well-crafted, well-designed addiction formula that when you combine it with real money, it becomes incredibly dangerous. More dangerous than anything else out there. More dangerous than Genshin Impact, more dangerous than Lost Ark, more dangerous than Raid Shadow Legends, more dangerous than all of those, because it's Diablo. This is Blizzard's masterpiece, that they have monetized that addiction formula. To me, that's the biggest issue with what's going on right now, is that the game's too good. Like, I played the game for a few hours last night. It's really good. It's well made. It runs smooth. In a lot of ways, it is better than Diablo 3. And it's an MMO formula, so we haven't had that before. I can actually queue up and party up with people to do these greater rifts. I don't have to have pre-mades. So that changes the game for Diablo. Diablo hasn't done this before. Marvel Heroes did it. Lost Ark is doing it. Path of Exile hasn't even done this. You have to have pre-mades. You can just Dungeon Finder. You can do Duty Finder if you're from Final Fantasy 14. You can just search for people to play with, and that changes the game. It actually does. There's people everywhere. It's an MMO atmosphere. Diablo hasn't done this yet. This is the first time that Diablo has entered into the MMO space. That's another level of addiction that you didn't have before. It's really, really, really dangerous. So keep that in mind. When you play Diablo, if you do decide to try this game, I hope you have a lot of self-control. I don't know if many other content creators are telling you guys this. This game is dangerous. It is really dangerous. A lot of people are talking about like predatory monetization. We've been talking about predatory monetization for years. I don't know where these people are cropping up now. I mean, 5-10 years ago, where were these guys screaming that this is bad and we need government regulation, blah, blah, blah. It started with the horse, man. It started with the mount. We were like, why do you have to pay to get a horse? And then Valve is like everybody's darling. Valve was like, hey, loot boxes. TF2 loot boxes. Here, CSGO loot boxes. You know, that this stuff has been going on for years. It's not new. That doesn't excuse it by any means. But I'm just saying, where were these people, you know, before? Why is this such a big deal? And that's Lost Ark, man. Let's talk about Lost Ark for a second. And Genshin Impact. Because these two games have seemingly got a pass by the gaming elite somehow. You know, I won't touch this pay-to-win game because it's pay-to-win, blah, blah, blah. Oh, but if it's Genshin Impact, oh, if it's Lost Ark, I'll play that. Why? Why? It seemed like they jumped the shark all of a sudden. I don't get it. Why? And these same individuals, I've actually seen these same individuals, I'm not going to say any names, who praise Lost Ark are saying that this is worse. Which I don't understand what they've been looking at all these years. They need to go and watch ATK's video, if you haven't. ATK, I have it linked here. I'll link it in the description. This guy put out this video, and I got a screenshot here of the progression chart that he did live about how Lost Ark is so ridiculous that there's only a very tiny percentage of players that are at the top of the gear score, like the most minuscule. He's talking about the Korean servers, not the NA servers. It's a very tiny minuscule, and the way they got there is they wailed. They threw their credit cards at it. There's no way they could farm to get there. He did a great job of explaining this. The majority of players, even if they wail, they're in the middle. They're in the middle of this whole progression chart that you see here. Again, I encourage you. This is a great video that I got showing up here. They're in the middle of this progression. And you see how it's like a cliff, how it just goes up the higher you go. NA is still down here at the bottom. We haven't even got up here yet. So the people saying that Lost Ark is better than Diablo, you really need to look at what's going on in Korea first. Because the amount of money and amount of time that you need to squeeze out the smallest inkling of percentage is insane. It's actually ridiculously insane. It's crazy insane. To the point to where it's impossible. So when people are screaming now, they're talking about, hey, it takes $100,000 to max out your character in Diablo. It takes this amount of money, 50,000 for a stat. They're throwing out all these numbers. I'm like, you must be new here. Because you're talking about the upper echelon, you're talking about the top percentage of players where it has always been many thousands of dollars. And if you ask a top Lost Ark player how much they've spent, it's going to be a very large amount of money, like an insanely large amount of money. And I think you really need to assess what you say if you say Lost Ark is worse, because in a lot of ways it's not. The difference is that Diablo is a better game than Lost Ark. That's the big difference here. Diablo is a better game. It's more fun. You've got more things to be addicted to. I haven't mentioned this, but this game has an insane amount of content. Like, it makes Diablo 3 look like a joke. It has an insane amount of content that you need to do, and different systems that you can conquer. And it's a crazy amount. They did such a great job developing this game that it's mind-boggling, right? It's a really, really good game. And it's really insane. It's really insane of how dangerous it is. If you've got self-control like me, I like to think I have self-control. You're generally okay. A lot of us will go and say, oh, I'll just play free to play. I'll do this. I'll have some fun with it. And when I hit a wall, when I've hit a wall, then I'll stop. That's what I do with a lot of free to play games. I did that with Raid Shadow Legends. I did it with what's the Clash Royale. I did it with Clash Royale when we played that for a long time, because Blizzard's coming out with a Clash Royale clone. Keep your eye on that one. I did with Clash Royale. I did with a lot of free to play games. I'll play free to play, and then when I hit a wall, I'll stop. Right? Because it's fun. The gameplay loop is fun for a lot of these free to play mobile games. But then when you hit the wall and they ask for the money, like if they have some kind of fatigue system or some kind of a stamina system or something like that, that turns me off immediately. If a game has a fatigue or stamina system, meaning that, oh, you got to give us money to do more runs. No. That's a really super duper predatory system that gaming companies are learning to remove. I want to make another point here, because I think some of you aren't going to like this, but what they're doing is a classic technique that has been done in gaming for a long time. It even happens in non-free-to-play games. It happens in paid games. And it's a psychological thing. I'm pretty sure that they hire psychologists and mental experts, I don't know what the degree is, to do this. What they're going to do is that they introduce a set of systems, right, that are well beyond what they actually want. So they give us stuff that is much worse than they actually want to have in their final game. And what's going to happen, mark my words, what's going to happen is that they're going to say, oh, we've listened to the player feedback. We've heard your cries. We're going to make change. We're going to make this right. And what they're going to do is they're going to dial it back a little bit. Now, where they want to be is like over here to the left. But they're just going to dial it back a little bit. And eventually they're going to get back to hopefully above where they want to be. So right now they've got this crazy wacky system with legendary systems, which is legendary gems, which is way off base. They're going to dial it back. They're going to say shit. They're going to ease the players. Meanwhile, you're getting addicted to the game. You're addicted to the game. You want the game to get better. You want the game to be fixed. They're gonna inch it back, and then it's gonna, oh, it's not as bad as it used to be at launch. At launch, it was really bad, but now it's not as bad. But overall, it's still just as bad, if not worse than it ever should be. They're gonna do this. They are going to do this, and it works. It works. A lot of game companies do this. They introduce a system that's some monetization or progression system, which is really, really bad, right? And they dial it back a little bit to make you happy. And then they leave it in a spot to where they're like, wow, they're actually happy with this. I can't believe it. Our initial thing, we didn't think they'd ever, it's a psychological thing. It's really, really, really evil. It's some mind games, man. And they make hand over fist so much money doing this. So much money doing this. Lost Ark just recently did it. They did it. I mean, they started out with this really bad system and then they dialed it back a little bit. It's still bad, but everybody's happy. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Diablo Immortal is going to do the same thing. Watch. Blizzard is going to change the system with the legendary gems. They're probably going to give us more free ones. They're going to probably reduce the price. They're probably going to make the 5-star gems drop outside of the paid system, right? They're going to walk all of this back, but at the end of the day, the final system is still going to be terrible. And you're going to say it's fine. Not you, but you. You're going to say, oh, it's great now. I can actually get the gems now. Before I couldn't. So it's great. Yay. Woohoo. So listen, guys, let me just tell you a little bit about my history with these types of games. You guys know I play mobile games. I play mobile games all the time. I've done sponsorships. I used to do YouTube videos all the time for mobile games, even when they first came out. I'm a big mobile game guy, even though I don't stream them that much. I don't have a problem playing mobile games that are clearly pay to win. What I do is I get my enjoyment out of them. I have enough self-control to say, hey, I need to stop. I'm not going to give them any money. But I feel like I have the responsibility to inform you all of the systems that are in the game. And I'll tell it like it is. One, is this game pay to win? Absolutely, it's pay to win. I'm not going to defend it. I'm like, oh yeah, it's pay to win. If you have a problem with pay to win, don't play this. Don't play this at all. Right? You're going to hit a wall of this. I try to inform people. I'm like, you're going to hit a wall here and blah, 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 blah. If you think predatory systems are bad, you don't want to play this game. Right? So I feel it's my responsibility to tell people the truth and let them know that, like with Raid Shadow Legends, even when I did the sponsor stream, I'm like, yeah, it's absolutely pay to win. It's pay to win is all get out. This is pay to win. And I didn't care. If the sponsor didn't like that, I was like, whatever, man, I'm telling it like it is. I don't care. It's the same is true with this game. But to me, Diablo Immortal is a very serious issue because the game is freaking amazing. You will play for 44 hours and you won't even miss it. It is that good. It's a really good game. And they have monetized the loop, which is so incredibly brilliant and evil at the same time that you got to respect it, but you got to be afraid of it as well. It is incredibly, incredibly genius. Like somebody at Activision they've got the 5 head, man. They've got the 6 head going on over there. At the end of the day, the game is pay to win. Yes, it is. If someone asks you, hey, what does Bwana think about Diablo Immortal? Does he think it's pay to win? Yeah, he does. It's pay to win. There's no doubt about it. There's a direct tie between money and power in this game. A direct tie. And it has a PvP component. I haven't even looked at that yet. And I haven't even talked about resonance. Like the whole resonance system is just crazy. Resonance is just, this is where you can learn about this thing. And Greg 2G's video, he talks about resonance. He brings up some good points about their resonance system and how you get some bonuses to gear that are insane, that you will probably never see as a free-to-play player. So a game gets seriously pay to win when you can only get these things by paying, and there's quite a bit of that in Diablo Immortal. But like I said, I think a lot of these things are going to get dialed back and they're going to get removed, and they're going to move the game back a tad. They're going to move it back, like a bunch of different pegs. They're going to move it back. But where they settle, where they come to steady state, is still going to be a problem. So what am I going to do? What is Bwana going to do? I'm playing on Wirt right now, WIRT. Sadly, to make a guild, you got to pay, it seems. So I don't know if I'll be able to make a guild, but I was going to play with my community because it's a fun game. But I am going to be issuing a warning every time I can. I'm like, listen, this game is dangerous. This game is dangerous if you have lack of self-control, if you have a gambling issue, if you have an addictive personality. Let me tell you that they have combined one of the most addictive games with your credit card. And it's probably the most seamless way to take your money that I have ever seen in my life. It is really, really, really predatory. It is really, really, really strong. And if you're not careful, you will spend, I was telling my wife about it. I was describing to her, because these little $2 charges, you're going to do one more run, $2, another run, $2. And let me do another run. I'll get it this time. Another run. It's like a cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. The next thing you know, you're going to be spending $20 a month. You keep playing, you may be $40. Hey, I did good at work. I got a raise. I'm going to spend $500. I'm going to get a whole bunch of these. So you do 500. Oh, you do 500 runs and you don't get anything. You're like, okay, I'll just keep playing. Before you know it, it's like playing WoW. You're paying a minimum of $15 a month. I'm telling you, man, there's some smart people. You're paying a minimum of $15 a month just buying these tokens. And I haven't even talked about the cosmetics. This is some of the best cosmetics I've ever seen in Diablo ever. The Diablo armor that you get in Diablo 3, even Diablo 2, it doesn't hold a candle to what they're going to be putting in this game. The cosmetics are insanely good. So I haven't even started talking about that. I'm just talking about gear. And Battle Pass, I haven't talked about that either. They got a Battle Pass too, which there's going to be some stuff there that you want. So there's more money there. Be careful. If you have an addictive personality, if you get addicted to ARPGs, I highly recommend you don't even try this game. Don't even pick it up. Because I'm telling you right now, it's good, but it's dangerously good because it can it basically can suck your wallet dry before you know it. Those little charges are really, really dangerous. Like, when Raid Shadow Legends pops up a thing for $50 or $100, it's easy to turn that down. It's really easy to go, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. The $10 ones are like, okay, maybe I'll get that. But when you got like $2, like just spend $2, I can just spend $2 to get these coins or whatever they are to buy the guaranteed legendary. I don't know, my words just stopped there. To get the guaranteed legendary. When you make that a small amount, it's really dangerous on an addictive formula. So be careful with Diablo Immortal, guys. Be careful. I don't know how else to say it. It's a very, 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 very good game. I got to commend Blizzard. This is one of the best mobile ARPG experiences I've ever played. Like, by far. And I've only played for like 4 hours. And I was just like, wow. Like, I didn't want to stop. I was playing last night and I was like, I need to stop. I had to say that out loud. I was like, I need to stop. I was like, I just want to keep going. And I was like, this is really, really dangerous, really dangerous. It's free. Technically, you don't have to spend any money, but it's really easy to. It's really, 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 really easy to. It doesn't have a stamina system. No, I don't see a stamina system anywhere. No. The money comes in the high end where you want to get legendary gems. And the only way you can get legendary gems is through a paid item that they're going to trickle to free players like 1 or 2 a month. Right? They're called crests, right? Legendary crests. I believe that's what they're called. Let's go to the store. The legendary crests. When you run a Greater Rift and you insert a legendary crest, these guys right here, you insert one of these guys into, you're going to get a guaranteed 5-star gem. I'm sorry. Yeah, a guaranteed up to 5-star gem. It could be 2 out of 5 stars. It could be 3 out of 5 stars. It could be 1 out of 5 star. It has a maximum of 5 stars. Now let me tell you something else. To compound this system, you can combine gems. Oh my gosh, man. The amount of money that they can squeeze out of you with this system is incredible. Like, they're going to make so much money. I think Saram's in my chat said that this is going to fund Blizzard, all of Blizzard development for 5 years. And I was thinking, yep, this game is going to print money. It is going to print money. They streamlined the play system. Wife is even considering getting into this game. She's never touched the genre. It's gonna bleed into the casual. It's definitely going to bleed into the casual crowd because it's easy to play. It's easy to get into. The UI is very, very mobile. I think they've learned their lessons from what they did with console Diablo 3 and they brought it over here because a lot of things are very easy to do. Now, I think a lot of PC players who have never touched a mobile game, they're in a state of shock right now. They don't know what to think about. A lot of them like, what in the world is going on? I can't do this. I can't. A lot of people are focusing, especially on Reddit, on what they can't do. I can't resize this. I can't do that. The resolution options are limited. I can't believe there's still a mobile UI here. I'm like, you must be new to mobile games. Because most times a mobile to PC port is just to make sure that it runs well and that you can map your keys properly. That's about it. It doesn't get, you don't get much more than that. So I think their expectations were a little bit high for a PC port. I was like, well, that's probably all you're going to get. Try running this game in BlueStacks and then come back and talk to me. Because I guarantee you it's going to run like crapadoodle in BlueStacks compared to the PC client. Yeah, they do a lot of optimization with this. So be careful, guys. These crests, everything you run, everything you do, resist the little pop-ups. I think Kuretake said it best. Don't even tie any money to this game. Like, I think that's a safe thing to do. Remove the temptation, Don't even start. Just remove the temptation because it's a really, really good game. I can't believe Blizzard did it. Like, they actually made Diablo on mobile and they did a good job with it. Now, is it fixable? I don't know. I don't know if they can fix this because I think the company's called NetEase. NetEase doesn't have a great reputation for good monetization models to begin with. Right. And I think Activision likes money a lot. So I think there's not going to be a whole lot they can do. And Blizzard is a different company than they were, years ago. They're different companies. So you can't expect Blizzard to be the Blizzard of old anymore because everybody's pretty much gone. The old Blizzard is not there anymore. The new Blizzard, we'll see what they do. They are going to dial a lot of these systems back to appease you. They're going to make certain things. Free-to-play players are probably going to get access to more of those crests. They're going to make it so where you can get more crests. They're probably going to add them as something to bounties or some sort of a daily. They may throw them in the battle pass. They're going to appease you. But like I said, it's this psychological thing. They start out really, really bad and then they dial it back a little bit. And then you get satisfied. But where they end up is going to be in a place that's still pretty bad. That's going to be hard to see from that perspective because you started over here. And if you really want the game to succeed, it's going to be making you a little bit more apt to take it. To be like, all right, this is fine. This is fine. But the game is fun. I'm going to continue to play it. I'm going to treat it like I treat just about every mobile game. If I hit a wall, that's when I'll make a decision whether to keep going or stopping. I'll play with the community. I was thinking we can do some community rifts. I want to start a guild, but I don't want to pay them any money. I think that's kind of absurd. That in order to, I think you need like 1,000 or 2,000 platinum to start a guild. When I looked at it, I was like, what? You need some kind of currency that I didn't have enough of. I think it was platinum to start a guild. And I was like, oh, what? I got to look into it. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I watched Asmongold's video and he said something very true. He said, and I was laughing out loud because it was so true. He said if a free-to-play game has more than 2 currencies, it's pay to win. He was like, I was just like cracking up. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true. Because there's so many games out there where they have these convoluted, confusing systems where it's just like you need red gems to get the blue gems, and the blue gems to get the gold gems, and then the wings, and then you use the wings to buy this, and it's just like if they got more than 2 currencies, they're definitely pay to win. I was like, yeah, that's true. It's so true, man. Oh gosh, it is so true. So true, man. So true. But I encourage you to watch the Greg 2G video. I think that's where a lot of the Bellulars and the Asmongold and all these videos, they're kind of taking their information from Greg 2G's video. I'll put the link in the show description. Greg 2G's video does a great job of explaining this. If you guys want to watch, I'll bring it up again. I'll post it in the chat too. But watch this video. Watch it. I've watched probably like 90% of it, like twice. I skipped around a couple times. But watch that video, man. Watch it. They do a good job of explaining why these legendary gems and the resonance system, like I think this is one of the part. Let me show you a screenshot. If I show you the screenshot, this right here, I think this is where it gets ridiculous. As you progress your gear, it changes appearance. To get to this is going to cost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and many, I don't know how many, probably decades to get with the systems that they have currently. Yeah, this is going to be nuts because this is tied to resonance, and resonance has a direct pay cost to it, and there's no way free-to-play players can even remotely see this stuff. So you're going to see people walking around looking like this, and if you don't drop any money, you're never going to look like that with the current system. You're just not. Never. Never. You're never going to look like this. This is the base peasant gear, and this is the whale gear, right? Due to resonance. So it's pretty crazy, man. It's pretty nuts. And this is on top of the addictive. Like I said, man, this is on top of the addictiveness of the game, the awesomeness of the game. The game is really good. It is really good, chat. I can't emphasize that enough. Diablo Immortal is a very good game. Blizzard knocked it out of the park, man. This is a good Diablo. They made I'm like, what happened to? It's like, why? How is a mobile game better than D3 already? What's going on here? Like, I'm having more fun with this right now than I had with D3 when it came out. I'm not kidding. I was like, they did a good job, man. Really good job. But this monetization is scary. It is really scary of what it can do to your wallet if you don't have the self-control. But we can point and laugh when we see shiny people. Ha ha! You're a whale. Then we go in the corner and then we secretly cry. We just start crying. I wanted to. Oh, man. So check this out, guys. I can go on and on. We'll continue to talk about it on our live stream. We stream at twitch.tv/Bwana. You can come by. We'll continue to talk about it. I'm going to be playing some today, but be careful. This is what I want to leave you with. There's more to learn, but from what I've learned so far, this game is dangerous. I think that's going to be the title. Beware. This game is dangerous. It is very dangerous. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.